Hi, and thanks for your interest in our Nissan JUKE. My name is Jamie and I'm Product Manager with Nissan Ireland. I'm going to be taking on a test drive of this fantastic product today. The model we're going to be driving here is an SV Premium automatic version. Just to give you a little bit of performance information before we get started. It's available in a 1 litre petrol 3-cylinder turbo engine with 117 brake horsepower. It does 0 to 100 in 10.4 seconds for manual and 11.1 seconds for a DCT. In terms of fuel consumption, the manual has 4.9 litres per 100 kilometres, while the DCT has 4.8. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so before we set off on the test drive, it's just important that we make sure that some of the features are active. So firstly, we want to make sure that the wing mirrors are in the correct position. We use this little electronic pad here to adjust them into position. They are standard across the range, and that wing mirror is fine. I also want to make sure my headlights are set to auto, as so, and that the windscreen wipers are set to rain sensing. So what that means is, when I'm out on the road, as conditions change, my headlights can come on, my wipers can come on, and I don't have to fiddle around with the stalks. Okay, so we're just about to set off now. On the XC and SV grade, you'll have the standard turnkey ignition, but from SV Premium, you get an engine start button. So all you have to do is put your foot on the brake, tap the start button, and the engine is on. Also, you have an E handbrake. So again, on XC and SV, you have the traditional handbrake, but from SV Premium, it's an E handbrake. Simply press the handbrake down to disengage, and you are ready to pull off. One of the first things you'll notice when you're actually driving a Nissan JUKE is just how quiet the cabin is. There are a number of reasons for that. One of them being we use a lot thicker glass in the windscreen and the side windows. You'll also see the wing mirror is located on the door. That reduces wind noise and creates great visibility. And then you also have covers on the engine and underneath the car, and that's actually similar to what we have on our GTR models. In terms of controls, Nissan JUKE has been designed to have all of the controls at your fingertips and where you'd expect them to be. So for instance, cruise control and speed limiter is located on the right-hand side of the steering wheel and can be operated with the touch of a button. On the left-hand side, you have your up, down, left, right switches that allows you to move comfortably through your combi meter. The combi meter as well is a very nicely laid out feature. Here is where you're going to see pertinent navigation and safety alerts. So while you're driving, it's in your field of vision. You quickly glance down, see that I'm doing 70 kilometers. I can see the speed limit, and then I'm quickly glancing back up again. From SV Premium grade, Nissan JUKE comes with 3 driving modes. You have normal, eco, and sport. When you turn on the vehicle, it will be in normal by default, and this is your everyday driving mode. However, if you want to prioritize fuel consumption, you can switch it into eco, or perhaps you want a more sporty drive, then you can switch it into sport. This increases the throttle response and acceleration and reduces steering. So how we switch between modes are, we use this D mode switch just below the gear stick. To go into eco mode, we flick back. To cancel this, we can flick back. And then if you wanted to go into sport mode, you would flick it forward and instantly you will feel the response from the car. Nissan JUKE has been awarded a 5-star NCAP safety rating, making it one of the safest vehicles in its segment. One of the reasons for that is because it has a whole host of safety technologies active across the range. These include intelligent emergency braking with pedestrian and cyclist recognition. So what this is doing, while I'm driving, it's constantly monitoring in front of me for any potential obstacles. If it picks up a vehicle, cyclist, or even a pedestrian that I might be running the risk of colliding with, it will audibly and visibly warn me, and then if I haven't taken action, it will actually start applying the brakes to try and minimize the risk of a collision. It also has intelligent lane intervention and warning. What that is doing is it is monitoring my lane position, and if it detects that I'm veering over the white line unintentionally, it will warn me that I'm doing so. The steering wheel will vibrate, and then again, if I don't do any corrective action, it will do it for me. And another safety feature that I quite like is the traffic sign recognition, which I mentioned slightly earlier. So what that does is it uses the front camera to read the road signs as you're driving past, and it will actually display the speed limits on your combi meter display, as I mentioned. So it's really handy, particularly if you're changing onto new roads, at keeping you aware of what the speed limit is at all times. One of the other features that I really like is this really sleek 8-inch infotainment touchscreen display. What I like using it for is Apple CarPlay. So once I plug in my phone, the 8-inch display then mirrors what's happening on my phone. So if I want to listen to my favorite Spotify playlist, I can simply use the touchscreen display to do so. So this is also a really nice safety feature, so I never have to look at my phone. I can see what's happening here on the display. I can keep my eyes on the road and just glance to the left. Also, if any calls are coming through, I can clearly see who it is, and then using the steering wheel switch controls, I can answer the call and hang up. Okay, that's the test drive done. I hope that you found this video useful. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the product presentation video where we go into some of the features in a bit more detail. If you'd like to find out more information such as price, spec, features, etc., please visit nissan.ie, or alternatively you can contact your local Nissan dealer who'll answer any questions or queries that you may have. Thank you.